What is up, Buck Nation? Another loss, another horrible loss against a team that we're completely outmatched in. This is a game where the score is closer than the game actually was. But before I go into my reaction, if you are new here, make sure you click the subscribe button down below. I am Rami B. I'm not going to be putting in any edits and stuff like that. This is going to be very brief. As you all know from my last video, I'm currently in Mexico on my honeymoon, so I was able to kind of glance at the game, watch bits and pieces, and now I'm putting this together very quickly. Patrick Mahomes pretty much had his way with us today. 460 some yards against us with like 300 in the first quarter and a half, which was absolutely ridiculous. Tyreek Hill 269 yards, 270 yards with 200 yards in the first quarter. I mean, 70 something of it, 75 of it was from one big play, and then another 45 or 50 for another touchdown. So 2 catches really made up that big thing. But it was a very bad showing on our defense in the first quarter, especially in part of the second quarter. Sorry. But they adjusted as Todd Bowles' defenses have adjusted throughout the year. So they did adjust and they kind of tightened down a bit, and they held Mahomes in the next, third, fourth quarter and part of the second to about 100-something yards, it seemed like. So that was all right there. The offense was a disappointment as well. Yes, they did turn it up. Yes, Brady threw 345 yards and 3 touchdowns, but there were 2 horrible picks. And if I remember correctly, those 2 picks were in Chiefs territory. And had they not been picks and been field goals, we would have had an extra 6 points and would have been up 3. So it's just really frustrating. The first pick throwing to Scotty Miller, I don't understand why he threw that ball to Scotty Miller when he was covered really well, and you're throwing it to the shortest receiver in the game in our roster. Like Antonio Brown would have jumped and made that, but that was horrible. The second one was just a bad decision. It was a good read to throw to Evans. Bad decision in that he should have thrown it away or hit the ground, but bounced off the helmet of a defender and went straight to the corner's hand. So those 2 were really bad plays. The second one bouncing off of the helmet was really like a call that swung away from us when we really needed it. But it's good to see that the team did show grit, locked down when needed, and did make a little bit of a comeback and made the game much more interesting. Tony Romo did say that he sees like the offense now kind of maturing a little bit and able to move the ball. Once this game really proved that if we stick to the run and we make sure that we run the ball and stick to it even if we are down, it's going to open up the passing game. Their defense kind of sat back a little bit when they were up. I think it was 17-0 at one point. And it was like 20-7 at one point, or 27-7. I don't remember exactly, but we did stick to the run, and the run was starting to pay off. Ronald Jones was getting some gains, and because the defense kind of sat back, so it opened up the run game a little bit, which then allowed the play action to work. Evans had 2 touchdowns, putting him on 11 on the season, and he's 1 off from his record of 12, which was in his rookie season in 2014, and then I think he had 12 also in 2016, if I remember correctly. So he's definitely going to break that with 4 more games left on the season. Gronk kind of looked like the Gronk of old, 100+ yards. Godwin came up clutch when we needed him, a couple deep big throws, a couple third downs, things like that. But the offense is showing that there is potential there, and I don't know, the way that when they opened it up in the second half, it seemed to really work. Whatever they're scripting in the first 30 plays, I think they say 30 to 40 plays are usually, not 30 to 40, sorry, 15 to 20 plays are usually scripted. It doesn't work. I don't know what they're scouting when they're watching film and things like that, but those opening plays are not working at all. So they need to figure out something about that and stop coming in with those game plans that are really ineffective. But I would say this is promising in the sense that we are able to hang with really good teams. The Rams last week, we lost by a field goal. The Chiefs, we lost by a field goal. Those are 2 very solid. And Chiefs, obviously elite. The fact that we were able to hold up with them and make it a game is very promising. And with the Rams being a team that's a horrible matchup for us, keeping it that close, it's also promising as well. But yeah, I would say that now that next week is the bye week, a very much needed bye week, a late bye week. We definitely need that for players to rest and kind of compose themselves. We are now 7-5 on the season. I know the Rams lost, so I think they have the same record as us now, but we're still a game behind technically because of the tiebreaker. So I believe we're still the 6th seed out of the 3 wildcard spots. So yeah, after the bye week we have, I don't know the exact order. I think we have Minnesota at home. We're going to Atlanta, I believe, and then we have Detroit, going to Detroit. I don't remember. And then back home against Atlanta. We're now 3-3 at home as well with 2 more home games. Hopefully we can win those 2 against Minnesota and Atlanta. But it is promising. Minnesota's looking really good. They started out the season pretty weak, but they've stepped up. And Atlanta is Atlanta. Hit or miss today. They blew out the Raiders, so who knows. But those are 4 very winnable games and 4 games that ideally we could really finish 11-5, but I think we will finish 10-6 on the season, kind of based on how things have gone. But I hope I'm wrong and it's 11-5. But yeah, I'm gonna go back and enjoy the rest of my honeymoon. Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe if you're not. And as always, let's go Bucs Nation. Let's enjoy this bye week. We're 7-5 in a much better position than we've been in the last 3-4 years. So enjoy it. Take the week off next week to relax our anxiety and our stress, and let's come back from the bye week and start playing dominant championship football leading into the playoffs. But yeah, thank you as always, and I am out.
Our offense tough, our defense rough. Go Bucs, go Bucs. Ain't no other team stopping us. Go Bucs, go Bucs.